Hey everyone, so we're here live at the relocation for the 1713 little tenant farmer house that was very nondescript. Doesn't look like much right now, but once you look inside, and we're going to be able to look in that later when it's set up into the new location in the Millstone Park. The Cranbury Historical Preservation Society is funding this project and really trying to save a little treasure that's here in town. So once we, as you can see from behind me, you'll see that the house foundation has been removed and it's been put up onto its wheels. There's the little dollies are self-powered, so you'll see that the house moving company that's moving the house is going to be rolling this down the road with a remote control. And we've got the path all set and prepped for PSE&G to disconnect lines, and we've got fiber optic companies with their lines dropped. So we have a lot of advanced work that has been done here so that this can happen today. You can see some bracing on the chimney and all the extra wood block and shims underneath to keep everything secure. And you can actually see the house start to move now. So I'll let you guys watch and enjoy the show.
Woohoo! Wait, gotta give a big clap. Woohoo! It's starting to move!
Yeah, this doesn't sound great.
It's so satisfying.
So the popping you hear is the noise of the extra weight underneath the loose gravel underneath, so no worries there. It's just everything's self-leveling as it goes. So PSE&G had to de-energize both the lines to start. Sorry, we're a little close. Now they're basically cutting the power, but they have switching so that no one's going to lose signals or power during this whole shutdown. And right now they're coming to the last little segment that goes across from this main power line over to the Shadow Oaks community on this side. So that's the last one they have to do, and the house move will continue and fall right behind them so that we get it all done pretty quickly.
How you doing? So how big is the house?
Approximately 850 square feet. And in the 1700s, 8 children lived in that home.
Really hard to imagine.
It is hard to imagine, especially when you walk into it. It's so tiny. You see how the top windows are misaligned?
Yeah.
Yeah. And those windows actually are low to the floor. This house is described or identified as a 1.5 story East Jersey cottage style house.
So now all we have here is we just have to wait for the PSE&G to dig one last line down after we de-energize the whole strand. And that's the line going to the line right there. And then the power has been switched already in a way where there's not any interruptions to anyone in Shadow Oaks or in town.
Got a bit of a crowd out watching it.
Making me nervous.
I'm going to be more nervous when it turns the corner and starts to go in.
I like this. It's like old house, new house. All right. Yeah, it looks like we're going to clear the power line. No problem.
Just barely. Yep.
So then the house will move
Around.
into the park. You can't really see here yet, but it will end up in that fenced off area. That's the destination for the house. So this is a hole in the ground right now, and the house today will go down that ramp and still apparently be on on the truck, so that they can fill in below it over time, and then ultimately have the house at ground level and pull out the supporting gear.
What's going on?
Right
now, since we've cleared this other wire, we're going to be clearing that back up, and we're back on the main stretch here. So we have the area down there where the Old Park entrance used to be. The trees are a little wider apart, so it's a perfect space for us to filter into the parking lot and break into the park. And so what you see here is they've got some steel plates down over the telecommunications lines that are down on the ground, up against the curb. The power lines are all prepped to go through, so once they get over here, they'll be making their turn up with the plywood and turning up over that little ramp that's built in between the cones and rolling up into the parking lot. That's really next.
So, Audrey, how exciting is this day for you?
It is. It's an answer to a whole year's work, and I'm very excited that it's happening. I'm happy for Cranbury, happy for the Historical Society, and I'm glad so many people came out to
It is. It's like a parade a little bit. This is slow moving.
Yeah.
Did you move the other house too, the one at the Morgans? No. No.
Yeah, they brought me in at the last minute to put the footing in and all that.
So can you explain like how the house will go in the hole?
Oh yes. Let Steve.
Let Steve do it?
Steve's the one who developed it. I think you want to take a picture of everybody else. The historic people.
I don't know. You're Chuck? Chuck's the one who's putting you. Sal, I know you're on it. Come on in. Sal, come on.
Excuse me. All right.
So there's the Historical Society. Okay.
So this is. These are some of the key people that made this happen.
Starting from my left. You're gonna have to speak very loud.
Okay, well, I just want to thank everyone for joining us in this whole event today, and for the Cranbury Historical Preservation Society for funding this project. Yeah, we will be asking everyone in the community for some help soon, because this is a big undertaking, and we really are all about preserving these rare treasures that we find within Cranbury, and preserving its history and protecting its history.
The best is yet to come when we start preserving the house, and we hope many of you will be involved with your skills and also financially if you can do it. We love that. That's what we're all about. Right. This is who we are. This is Cranbury.
Let's hear for the Historical Society. Woohoo! Thank you, Historical Society.
So right now, this is the moment of truth, right? So we're coming up over the telecommunications lines, which are probably like millions of dollars worth of commerce that's flowing underneath the house right now. So that's why it's protected with steel plate and wood blocking and cribbing, and an extra channel that Comcast and Xfinity's telecommunications people have put in place. You can hear the creaking as it comes up.
Yeah, that's a little
Nice.
disturbing.
And you can see the pistons are self-leveling, so as they turn, David DeVoe is I think he's actually coordinating that leveling too a little bit, and as they're going, and that keeps the house from shifting or settling in any strange angle, and keeping our interior brick walls that are all lining the exterior walls of this house is all filled with brick, so we have them braced on the inside so that nothing will shift around. You'll notice through the chimneys braced, and it keeps everything in place, and they're keeping everything nice and secure in there, so we're happy with everything. You'll notice also too the plywood that's put down on the grass to protect the park. We have our site plan here. I don't know if you want to look at that. We have a little moved path that basically describes the lines that goes down. The one line here we had to cross, that was make sure you saw the pause there for that crossing, and then all the other lines. So we come into the park, and then we come around through the parking lot a little bit. We're going to go through. This little jump is through the gap in the trees over there, and then there's going to be a lot of little maneuvering so that we can avoid all the trees. And there's the clearance of the top there is the really final part.
And there's one guy controlling.
There he is holding the controller in his hand in the orange
Orange
shirt.
shirt.
Yep, he just took over.
What's next with the house, Gail?
Next comes our fundraising drive because it has to be completely restored. We've got to take off the siding. We've got to repair chimneys. We've got to see what's really behind some of these walls. And it's going to be a big project, but worth doing.
It's going along.
It's just slow going.
I think she has 48 hours. And at least 4
But he ends up digging himself into the hole of the basement. He can't get himself out. You know that book? It's a kid's book. It's Mike Mulligan and the Steven.
Well, I think that was a big mistake.
So putting in plywood at the bottom of the hole. So what's happening here now?
So
Plywood.
right now they're preparing to move the house into over the new foundation, and so now they're putting all the plywood down because this soil is softer than the soil in the park. So once that's moved in, they'll stabilize the house in this position, and then it'll be raised up above the height of the new foundation. The new foundation will then be built up to the house, and then the house will be lowered onto the foundation. But right now they're working on getting it safely into the hole, as we say.
And so all the work you're talking about will happen over the next days or weeks?
Yeah, once the house is stabilized and put in its position up on blocks, basically. The problem is coming down this ramp.
Okay.
That's where the issues are going to be.
So we're coming up on like a tricky part.
Yeah, very much so. So that's why they're lowering it on one end, just so it's not such a steep incline.
Oh, good. I think we're done. That part. putting the plywood down on the ramp area so that they can ease the house down. So the house should start moving again shortly.
We made some slight adjustments to the ramp so that we'd have a nice subtle grade to start on, and the house now is going to be positioned through past this tree. This is kind of our pinch point we were talking about earlier, and it's going to turn around in this low zone and position itself to go straight down the ramp. And we kind of anticipate that as they go down the ramp, they'll be able to adjust the hydraulics so that there's not too much of a slope as they're going.
It's moving.
It's moving. Nice and close. But yeah.
So how long do you think it will take to go from here to into the hole?
Well, that's going to be all up to Devote, so it's all up to safety. It's as safely as possible as how the tie is, how long it's going to take. Nothing in here will be rushed at all, and I don't think we've done. See how the angle of the ramp is cut in a way where we have minimal impact to the two root zones, so they're outside of the canopy zones of these two trees that are here. So that way we let little impact as possible to the trees, and that's why we're making them do a lot of hard work right now to make this hard turn, is so that we have less impact to the trees. So we won't be really worried about anything happening to the siding of the house right now, since it's just the newer vinyl that's going to be coming off, and we're going to be taking it down to initially to probably the cedar shake look for a little while, with doing a cleaning up of that, but eventually renovating the exterior fully to match records and period.
Getting close to the ramp. These two guys right under the house. Okay, we're moving again.